Well, welcome to Capital Region Sunday. Richie Phillips here, along with a special guest, Julie Hart. She has a very long title. I'm going to give it a shot. She's the Director of Governmental Relations for the New York State. Hi, Julie. Why don't you say who you are?
Hi, thanks so much. I'm the Government Relations Director for the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network in New York State.
That's exactly what I said. No, I'm kidding.
I know, it's a mouthful.
No, it is a mouthful. And we're here to talk, of course, about a very, very serious issue, a serious malady. I think something that the consumer is very confused about cancer and what to do about it and what foods to eat, what not to eat. And maybe you guys can straighten this all out. What is New York State doing as far as cancer-related issues? How are they doing, I should say?
Well, we've actually made some great progress in New York State on cancer-related issues. If you look at our cigarette tax and our clean indoor air law, our smoking rates are going down. So there's areas where we've made some great progress, but we know that there's a lot more that we need to do. And, you know, about 107,000 New Yorkers are going to be told this year that they have cancer.
Amazing.
Right. You know, so there's, you know, over 100,000 people are going to receive a cancer diagnosis just in New York State. And we're going to lose almost 35,000 people to cancer this year. So we know we need to do more. We need to, even though smoking rates have gone down, we need to do more in this area. We need more cancer research, and we need more policies that are going to impact a lot of people and help prevent cancer.
There's so many things we can talk about here. Just the clean indoor law. I can remember, I used to play in piano bars before I ever got into radio. I can remember coming home and my wife would say, not only do you smell from cigarettes, but the equipment that you just brought into the house smells from cigarettes. My keyboard, my wires used to be infiltrated with smoke. And you think the fact that nobody's smoking indoors anymore, it would be a major, major advantage. But I don't know. Has it had that much of an effect?
Right. Well, I think everybody remembers the smoke clinging to you and the smoky bars.
Yes.
And, you know, it was one of those, I'm that generation, I remember that, and that was when we passed the Clean Indoor Air Act, that was in 2003.
Right.
So it was a great victory. So not as many people are smoking. Smoking rates have gone down as a result. Unfortunately, we haven't won the war on tobacco yet. We've made a lot of progress. We've seen with adults, it's fewer than 15% of people are now smoking. But tobacco companies are still making a killing off of New Yorkers. And if you go to, you know, different neighborhoods, certain neighborhoods, poor communities, they're going to have much higher smoking rates. And it's not surprising. You know, tobacco companies are targeting poor neighborhoods. So the smoking rates are much higher there. But
I think I hit my forehead when I saw news articles saying now that e-cigarettes aren't safe. Or are they safe?
You know, it's the issue with e-cigarettes is that, you know, it's sort of that phrase like, all right, well, if you've seen one e-cigarette, you've seen one e-cigarette. We really don't know what's in them. Everyone is different. They are less harmful than combustible cigarettes.
Right.
But less harmful doesn't mean that e-cigarettes aren't harmful. And almost everything is less harmful than cigarettes.
And this is what I'm saying. For the consumer, we're just so confused. How about eating, healthy eating? Things cause cancer. Then they don't cause cancer. This is safe. This is, you know, it's just insane.
I know. There was some news this week on that. And, you know, poor diet and not being active are definitely two key factors that can increase a person's cancer risk.
Mm-hmm. And what policies are you working on to make healthy foods more accessible to people? I'm sure that's got to be a major part of your focus, is that alone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news about, you know, healthy diet and physical activity is that people can do something about it.
Right.
It's really hard, though, you know, if you're in a neighborhood where you don't have access, you know, to healthy food, how are people going to eat healthy? You know, we're saying, all right, you want to eat healthy, but if you're in a poor neighborhood and you don't have a supermarket or you don't have a mobile market. So one of our priorities for the coming year is we're working with not only other public health organizations, but some business organizations to try to promote policies that will provide for supermarkets and mobile markets in underserved areas so that everybody can get access to healthy food. We should be making it easy for people to eat healthy food, not making it harder for them.
Sure. Once again, we're speaking with Julie Hart, the Director of Government Relations for the New York State American Cancer Society's Action Network, the Cancer Action Network. You know, we haven't talked about tanning. Now, I know it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, but it hasn't gotten cold yet. When it gets cold, people jump in these tanning booths to get ready for Florida. I know my wife has done that. What's been the research on that?
You know, we have some concerns about indoor tanning devices UV rays from the sun and indoor tanning devices, the bottom line is they can cause skin cancer and premature aging of the skin. So, you mentioned the weather. Certainly now is the time where we're going to start seeing people saying, all right, you know what, I want to go in and use the indoor tanning machine. And with a young person's skin still developing, it makes them even more susceptible to the harmful effects of UV rays.
So again, let me get this straight. You have e-cigarettes, which is supposed to be a substitute for cigarettes, and now we're worried about that causing cancer. You have tanning booths, which people use to prevent getting cancer when they're in Florida, and they're possibly getting cancer in the tanning booths. I'm so confused.
Well, you know what? Using a tanning device before the age of 35, it actually increases the risk of melanoma by a whopping 59%.
This is nuts.
So, if you want to protect your skin, you want to be good to your skin, use sunscreen, stay out of the tanning booth. And, what we really want to work on is closing that loophole so that 17-year-olds aren't going and using these tanning devices, because right now in New York State they can't.
Then, Julie, there's this next problem. You have a physician that prescribes some kind of a drug, and then you find out the cost of the drug, and then another is substituted. You don't know whether that one is effective, and then you have like a CEO of some company making the drug 5,000% higher, like that guy who was in the news. How do you control that? That's got to be a major problem as well.
Oh, absolutely. And for cancer patients, it's critical.
Right, of course.
Patients shouldn't need to fail first before they receive the medication prescribed by their doctor.
Mm-hmm.
They need time. They need to have that on their side, and it can be a significant quality of life issue. In order to make somebody more comfortable. So it absolutely should be that if your doctor says you need this medication, you shouldn't have to try a different medication and fail on that first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that we're working with some of the other public health groups on also, so that we can try to stop that from happening.
How about the research?
Cancer research is so important in terms of making advances so that cancer patients can get the best treatment possible, and then hopefully we can prevent cancer. We had stated earlier that over 100,000 New Yorkers are going to be told this year that they have cancer.
Right.
That can be devastating news, and we want to change this. So, the best chance that we have is cancer funding. So let's get some cancer research funding through Congress, through the NIH, so that we can improve cancer treatment, improve the quality of life for those, 100,000 plus New Yorkers, and hopefully we can start reducing the number of cancer deaths in New York State.
Absolutely. So how can someone listening help? How do we get involved?
Well, certainly the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, we're basically kind of the advocacy branch of the American Cancer Society.
Right.
People, when they think of the American Cancer Society, they'll think of cancer research. Well, we're also going to advocate for you. So if they get involved with us, they can simply go to our website. It's ACSCAN.org, which is ACSCAN.org, and they can learn more. They can become a member. So we can show them, all right, how to use your voice, how to contact your lawmakers, and they can make a difference at the state capitol and help other patients.
And what we'll do is we'll put it on our website, which will link to your website, and then hopefully if you can't get it from one place, you can get it from the other.
That would be great. There's power in numbers, so hopefully we can get more New Yorkers involved.
So much work to be done, but you're doing such great work as it is right now. Julie Hart, the Director of Government Relations for the New York State American Cancer Society's CAN network. Do I have that right now?
You do, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you. That's all I can say.
Great. Thanks so much for having us on.